Support your Hobbit hobby!
Welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to another GBHL YouTube video. You are here with GBHL James
and GBHL Jamie, and this is our tournament review for Shadow and Sorcery.
Shadow and Sorcery. So this tournament was at the weekend. It was a 350 point tournament, 5 games. There was modified recon.
Modified recon to the death.
Spider scenario.
Yep, custom spider scenario, domination, and sort of like a custom Lords of Battle, where you got free wizard for your force.
Now this was held at Titans Wargaming Club, which is down in Finchley, North London. In North London, and that's run by Chris Young and Damien Grantham. Yep. Busy tournament.
Very busy. I think 33 or 32 in total, wasn't it?
Absolutely great turnout. I think they deserve a round of applause for that.
Massive.
Great work, guys.
Building on the success of last year's tournaments.
Yeah, because did they not hold a really good tournament down there last year?
I think it was either that one or the Longbottom Carnival was the highest attendance ranking tournaments outside of Corona schools.
Yeah, I think being in London obviously is massively helpful for that.
Yeah, you've got that
central.
high density.
Lots of players, but also if you're running good tournaments, if you're giving good prizes, which we'll come on to in this review, which was very good. If you've got decent boards.
Amazing boards, yeah.
Yeah, if you've got some decent boards and low points cost as well,
yeah,
you're going to get lots of new players.
You get that sort of entry level, don't you?
Yeah, which I think is a really smart move. So a few things that we're going to go through in this tournament review is our weekend experience as a whole, I think. We'll talk about our armies, how we both got on, what we thought was great about the tournament, and what we didn't like about the tournament as well. Yeah. Because of course this is a review.
Yes.
Now I have to say, one of the things, I don't know if you agree with me about this, the preparation for it was really fun. Well, I know you might see it differently, but you know what I mean, don't you? It was challenging.
Yeah, challenging is the right word. It was a really tough tournament to build for. The 350 points is such a weird points cost because you can either get sort of a huge, a powerhouse hero and not much of an army, or you go for an army with sort of like mid to low heroes like Baragons and Kyrians and Madrils. So I didn't have a clue what I was going to do until about a day before the tournament.
That's true.
Actually, every night I was like, James, what do you think of this list? Like, it's good. It's good. I think you should probably take it. I was like, okay, sweet. Next night, James, you thought like this was good. What about this list? Yeah, it's good. I like it. I don't like it myself. And 2 minutes later, I was like, if he likes it, it must be crap. Next list.
That's probably about right. Yeah, it's probably about right. I didn't.
And it was when you told me, no, I liked your Grey Company better. I was like, right, this is the list that I'm taking.
I did like the Grey Company.
Yeah. I don't think I performed as well.
No, it was a nice list though.
Yeah.
I did like it. Would like to have seen it played. And some of it was the mischief before the tournament as well.
Yes, yeah, lots of, smoke and mirrors.
Loads and loads of smoke and mirrors about what people were going to take, what they weren't going to take. People taking it to a real extreme, to the point where it was very obvious bluffing.
Yeah, like Charles. Charles, come on.
Charles,
you've got to learn on your mind. It's like, I need an Alfred. Like, we've just posted a video back rep of what forces we'd both like to take. He's like, instantly posts, can I borrow an Alfred off anyone? I ain't got time to paint mine. It's like, come on.
That was a bit obvious, but we were very good at the game. We were very good at the game. Even to the point where
we used the Grey Company list that I made, and then
I also told Ed that we had a Facebook group.
Yeah, you probably got into Ed's head with that one.
It was great. I did. It worked.
It did.
It worked in a lot of ways. It was brilliant. Yeah. I really enjoyed that mischief side of it. So we went down to London. We stayed at Twickenham at the mighty
Shaoburn.
Oh, just absolutely fantastic. What a great guy. And I'm sure you agree with me, Jamie. I've made some fantastic mates doing this hobby.
It's some of the best friends is made in the hobby, definitely.
You know, the guys who were there that night are top guys. You know, I'm not saying that anybody who wasn't there isn't, but you know, we had a phenomenal night. Yeah,
just drinking, talking about the hobby, talking about sort of hopes and aspects, giving out false lists to each other. Just when you're sort of a little bit drunk, thinking, "Oh, I might ask them now, see what their force is." And oh yeah, definitely taking Grey Company 4-inch. Ed's like, yes, that's right.
I fed him that list though as well. Like, you went to the bathroom and he went, seriously, James, what's he bringing? And I just reeled it off. Got it right as well. I think
I was close.
I added a Ranger in the North. And Alfred.
I meant Damrod.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, that was all quite fun. We had lots of beer. We played Bugman's.
Bugman's, the board game, which is a great game. Just very easy to pick up and play, and it was good fun.
Yeah, it was me, you, Ed Ball, Thomas Harrison and Damien. So you're talking about 4 guys who...
5 guys.
4 guys who were in
Oh,
the
sorry,
shout.
4 guys in the shout for.
Unfortunately, I can't be counted.
Of finishing top 3.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm in the top 30. 1.5 tournaments. What can you do? We'll see this year. Yeah. Placing through volume. Attend loads of tournaments. I've got to come somewhere.
You've got to come top 10 at least, you'd hope.
I try. I can improve on 13th twice. Yeah. I will do as well. Watch out, people. So yeah. So that was, I think, for me. Yeah. It was the best thing about.
Yeah, the
weekend.
Play the games is fun and everything, but it is just
pizza.
That social, the social side of the tournament scene is the best bit.
And I recommend that all of you who are wondering, should I get involved, should I not get involved,
just
do it. Make friends, get on the Facebook group, start chatting, arrange to go and have games every now and again, go to tournaments together, make sure that you stay in the same B&Bs, make it a social thing.
It's like, not only does it sort of, obviously you gain friends through it and you have a great time, but it also does save you a little bit of money when you go in. You go into that tournament, yeah, should we just get a room together? Yeah, sweet. Sorted. Yeah. In that sense.
Yeah. Well, me and you,
top to tail.
We were top and tailing it. We didn't move.
No.
Through fear.
Like, the entire night just like...
There's a picture of us on the Facebook group. If you want to go check it out, it's always in the link description, isn't it?
Well, you're a cover hog, you know this?
Am I? Yeah, I've been told.
Woke up during the night, I was like, all of my cover from the legs is gone. I was like, give it back.
Jamie wakes up really early as well. He got up early.
Oh yeah.
6 or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
got a shower. Spoke to me while I was asleep. I have no idea what I said or what you said, but I have a vague memory, unless it was a dream, which I don't think it was. You just started chatting to me normal. In fact, yeah. And I think I went to the bathroom or something and came back, and you'd like started packing up the bed, and I was like, whoa, we don't have to be up for another.
I honestly thought we had to be out of the house by like sort of 7:30. That's what I remember having in my head. Like, no, we're not going to do 8:30. I was like, well,
we went back to sleep.
Let's get the bed back out then.
We went back to sleep. So we had a great night. Thank you so much, Damien, again, and for Em as well for letting us stay.
Thank you, Emma, for letting it happen.
For letting it happen. You're an absolute star, and we love you both to pieces, and all of the company. So then we drove down. We all went in separate cars because we knew that we were coming back that night.
There was different stuff like Ed had to make it back to Norwich. We were heading back to Manchester straight away. So between 5 of us, we took 3 cars to get down there.
Yeah, I'll try and stay next time. It was a one-off really. I had a client whose birthday it was, and I'd promised to do a session early in the morning, so I had to be back.
Because that's what you want to do on your birthday. You want to train.
With me and kill him. And yeah, before I was putting the iPhone.
This was to her.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That was Shaz. I was putting my iPhone because we filmed the Q&A with my iPhone, and we stick it in the top of the laptop, don't we, for stability. And sometimes if it puts pressure, it starts flipping between the different pictures, and it went absolutely ape.
It just landed on this picture of this girl just like that on the floor, passed out. And it just started zooming in. Oh, it was funny.
Not as funny as the training session. Just she won't be doing that on her birthday again. I'm telling you. Not me early in the morning. So yeah, we went to the tournament, and yeah, let's get started.
Yeah. So
venue. First of all, it was warm, which we all made up about.
Nice day. It wasn't bad. It's just a northernness. Just
no, it was cold.
It was cold.
It was cold, wasn't it? We went in the hut, and it was warm.
Yeah.
Nice venue.
Don't they have any heaters on or anything? Did they?
Yeah. Before we got there, they heated that bad boy up, and I was so grateful because I had no hoodie, no jacket, just a little t-shirt on.
Yeah. So. Forces that we took, I guess we should do it in this one as well.
Good idea.
In case anyone's not seen the other videos. I took a Lothlorien force allied with Minas Tirith. Legolas is my leader with 4 bowmen, 4 with Elven Blade and Shield, 3 guards of the Gladrim, 1 with a banner, and Alfred, Baragon, 3 guards of the Fountain Court with Shield, and 2 Sit-Ogar with Longbow and Spear. Very shooty force and with a reasonable defence. That's what I was going for. Yourself?
I went for, was it 10 Rivendell Knights?
Yep.
5 with shield, 1 of which had a banner.
Yep.
5 that didn't have a shield. Rivendell Knight Captain with shield. And Alfred.
Yes, there you go. That's your list.
And the idea behind that was I like playing cavalry, jack of all trades kind of army because small points cost, good if they can do multiple things.
Yeah. You're not planning to do more.
Yeah, and I thought it'd do well in various scenarios. So strength 3 bows in the spider, and then being able to stay away is important. Had the banner for to the death, which worked out quite nice. Yeah. Small points to get away in Lords of Battle. Yeah. You know, just stuff like that.
So, Game 1 was a modified version of Reconnoiter.
So how was it modified?
It was modified. Instead of scoring a victory point for every model that walks off the opponent's table edge, which can mean that Horde armies gain a really big VP swing. If you got more models off than your opponent, you got 1 VP. If you got double models off than your opponent, you got 2. And if you got triple, you got 3. So Horde armies, 5. 1, 3, 5. Horde armies could still get big VP scores, but it meant that they didn't it wasn't almost beneficial to go, you're likely to win this scenario, let's just walk past each other and get the big VP score.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously then that doesn't affect ongoing rankings. And another thing is you're still getting your 3 VPs for your
General
leader.
and break-in.
General and break-in. So as a result, even if you got off double the number of...
Not even triple. So if you got triple off and got 5, but the opponent broke you and killed your general, they could still win.
Yeah.
So it sort of takes the influence away from just running stuff off to win.
And who are you drawn in this game with Modified Recon?
I drew Mr. Ben Camp.
Ben Camp?
Ben Camp.
And what did he bring?
Ben Camp was umming before the tournament whether to bring his Rivendell Force or Last Alliance theme or Numenor. So they're the armies he collects. He went with a Rivendell Force with Eristor and a captain, and I won this scenario. He got very sort of unlucky with Eristor. Eristor didn't turn up for 3 turns.
Ah, that's grim.
And that's the kind of stuff that can happen in these scenarios where you roll in randomly for your warbands to turn up.
Yeah, it's one of the problems, isn't it, with Reconnoiter from a competitive play point of view. Your game could be affected before. Yeah. So
for me, Paragon's warband turned up, Alfred turned up, and they stood up a turn late, so I just ran him 6 to get him in range with them for shooting. His captain's warband turned up and had very small numbers, and they got shot very quickly. And that's how the game sort of went, that I shot out his archers in that warband, there were only a few left in the other one, so I shot them out, and then it was you come to me, or I'm going to run past you. Yeah. Once he did come to me, I actually did quite well with Eristor. Eristor went chopping up my guys left, right,
good hero, Eristor?
Yeah, he's a nice little hero. He's like a mini Hasharin. Yeah. 2 attacks, rerolls to wound. Rerolls to wound and his throwing dagger, just rerolls everything to wound. Defense 7 as well with 3 fates. I didn't get a wound on him.
That's good. Defense 7 with 3 fate.
Yeah. Like you can give him an elven cloak as well. He makes a nice little general.
Really? Yeah. I'll have to think about that. I've got an Eristor now and I've never used it. Yeah. Maybe bring him instead of Gildor in my
definitely. Yeah. You don't use Noldorian, so yeah. But won that one. Managed to run some guys off. Ran 3 off to get the 5 VPs. Broke him, but didn't get the general, so I won 8. And he, I believe, didn't. I think it was 8-0 that game. Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to be drawn against the mighty Ed Ball. Now, before this tournament, everybody thought it was guaranteed.
Put money on it.
Yeah, that Ed was going to bring 2 Nazgul and Felbeast, probably Knight of Umbar and Kamor.
Yes.
And everybody thought this, and whether it was to do with, the smoke and mirrors aspect, maybe slightly, thinking that people were, tailoring for him, or actually the bigger picture, which I probably think it's more of, knowing that.
More of the bigger picture.
More the bigger picture, because he's a good player, isn't he? He's a good player. No matter what you say about, Ed in terms of the lists and stuff like that, he's a good player as well. And he actually brought his Hobbit army. So this is his Hobbits. No Malbeth in this.
No Malbeth. There wasn't Alfred.
There wasn't Alfred. No Malbeth. Yeah. So Horde army. A recon.
54 models.
54 models against my 12.
Yeah. So we had a little chat before the game, because whilst concentrating on the 2013, because this tournament was for the 2013 league, decided who was going to win that, but it also counts towards the 2014 league. And for me, in the 2014
you and Ed are doing well.
Ed's probably my biggest competitor at the moment for the 2014.
What are you talking about? I'm in 3rd.
Yeah, but you got something like 70 points behind or something at the moment.
Yeah, but I'll improve.
You'll improve on that. But Ed's my biggest competitor, so basically, I want him to not do well at this tournament more for 2014 than the 2013 rankings. So I was like, right, what you need to do is you need to kill his general, and you need to break him. Oh no, you need to get 3 models off.
What you told me.
Yes, I forgot one. I told you.
Yeah.
You tell the story.
I'll tell them exactly what you told me.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean it is modified recon. So yeah, you can try and break them. But that's going to be hard with all of those hobbits, and he's out shooting me as well. And
16 bows or something.
16 bows, strength 3. If I charge in, he's got the throwing stones. You know, when I'm just in range, and just all kinds of nastiness. So you got to deny him that leader kill. So the goal was get the leader off, and 25% of my force. So that's the leader plus 2 riders, and then hold him up as high up off the board as you can, and die before he gets models off. Yeah. And as long as he's not getting
any more than 2.
More than 2 models off.
You can get 1 model off, right?
Yeah, because if I get my force off,
you get your 3 off.
If I get my 3 off,
and he gets 1 off. He's got triple, so you gain 5 VPs.
I'll gain 5 VPs. Okay, so it would be 5-3 because you'd be broken. Okay, so that was the goal, and I have to say, I felt dirty afterwards because it was like lulling Ed into this sense of security. Like Ed goes into a game with a disclaimer. Yeah. He like tells you beforehand. He says, right, yeah. Cause I like Ed. He's full of warmth. He's a really nice guy, and he. He says before games, I'm not going to be your friend. Yeah, basically, I'm not going to be your friend. I'm going to play quickly. If I'm not talking to you, it's because I want to get on with it and win this game. Basically, it's like, okay, it's going out. But I don't play like that. I like talking about things, going, oh, why would you do that? And because I'm learning still, and it's fun. I like the people, and here it was lulling him into it. And I have to say, it is probably the most well executed game I've ever played. Leader went off. 2 went off. Everything died, and he's 2 turns away from exiting the board. My last rider is surrounded. He's surrounded, piercing, striking hobbits. Ed hasn't realised. If he dies... Oh no, it was before that actually. Yeah. Before that, model on its own, I'm broken obviously, that's a courage test. Fail my courage test, a famous victory. But it's an elf, so not likely, and I passed my courage test, but still. A dice roll away from victory. Very unlikely, but would be famous. So I charge in, get surrounded, piercing, striking hobbits. Comes down to it, I lose because I'm just doing silly stuff. But I'm saying
I'll faint because I want the rerolls to win because that's a great way to beat it.
Because you know anything that he's got which is faint, I'm like I'll faint anyway. You know what I mean? But he, you know, I think he thought I was doing it because I was just being silly and just thought I'm going to lose.
You just knew.
And I felt so dirty afterwards because it was like proper scummy and everything, and then he wins the fight. He's rolling dice to kill me, goes up in strength, and he needs a 5 or a 6 to kill me. Doesn't get it. Last dice to roll, he rolls, lands on a 6, but it's cocked ever so slightly, and it was cocked. No argument in that at all. It was cocked. And I was like, yeah, you can have that if you want it. It's so bad. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. I felt horrible afterwards. I'm never doing it again. I'm never being that kind of player again. I'm not.
You definitely are.
It's horrible. Because then it would have been that moment. I saw it in him. When it landed as a 6, he realised at that moment I'd nearly thrown it away. What did he say to you in the toilets afterwards?
I didn't see him in the toilets.
When you saw him, he spoke to you after. He said he had to go.
Oh yeah, he came away sort of very green and was like
sweating.
It's like you're not feeling when you just realise you've thrown the game away, and you've got that sick feeling in your stomach. Yeah, that's how I feel now. I'm going to go destroy the toilet. Yeah, that's pretty much what he said to me.
He didn't notice. He rolled it. The 6. I was like, you can have it if you want. I feel so ashamed.
No, reroll.
Yeah, he re-rolled it and he didn't kill him. And next turn, exited models off the board. Yeah. Well, not that turn. The turn after exited models off the board. Suddenly realised, yeah, get things off. And it's got to be the best strategic kind of
victory. Well, not victory. Well,
I lost.
A strategic victory, an actual loss.
Yeah, I lost 8-0 because, of course, then he's got more models than I could get off the board. He's broken me as well. Yeah. So he got the 5-4 exit in and the 3. But so close to a 5-3 victory. Yep. Literally, your dice roll away. I wish I'd have failed that courage test. And then taken that 6 predicament.
It dropped your shield.
Yeah, just
dismount, drop the shield, lie down.
It's great, and that it's almost as well as I could do against his force in that situation. If I'd have done it, people would have been like, "What? You're famous."
You won recon with a 12 model army against a 54 model Hobbit force.
Yeah. Would Ed recover from such a loss?
Never.
I think he would.
He'd be broken man. He'd leave the hobby, sell up all his models that he's got.
I wouldn't want that to happen.
No, he wouldn't. He'd just be like, "Well played, James. Really well played."
He wouldn't. I'm not even sure he would say that.
I think he would. I think he's noble enough and a good enough player to recognise what you've done.
I think he would call me a horrible man at first for being so sneaky and
probably
backstabbing.
Probably after the initial shock.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy, and it was as close as I could get to it. So that was my first game. So it meant that I'd lost 8-0. So obviously I went down tables, and Jamie went up some tables, and we went into the second game, which was to the death.
Yeah.
Who were you drawn against?
I was drawn against Kieran Street. So Mr. Kieran, who you've seen on the channel quite a lot, he managed to destroy your Ents. Yep.
Let's not talk about this, Jamie. I'm very sensitive about this. He also destroyed my Rohan in Mansfield. -9 at Palanor. Yeah. Very bad dice. Still.
So this scenario is to the death, and obviously in this one, I've got the banner, and Kieran's force didn't. So I was already on the two up against him. He brought another Rivendell force. This time with Arwen and Aragorn with armour on horse. I was like, right, Aragorn's the general, he's going to be tough to kill. Oh, magic rings. For this one...
I forgot in the first game.
Yeah.
And I don't think I used it once.
I used some magic rings. I think magic rings, you roll on a chart before the game and you got a random spell from one of your heroes. I got Curse for this one. And Curse is one of the new spells, which if you channel it, you get rid of all their fate. If you cast it normally, you get rid of one play fate. That's cool. And I managed to successfully cast the regular version against Aragorn. So at the start of the game, he was down to 2 fate. And I was like, "Whee, that's like a bit of work taken off for me."
Not worth risking a channel?
I didn't think about it. Well,
with you having Alfred to
give him might back, yeah. I probably should have in theory, but he'd probably burnt his might to save the fate. Yeah. Which didn't matter too much in the end. So see, this force comes to me. Kieran had a very small force in comparison to mine, like very small. He's got a lot of points invested in those two heroes. The theme is lovely. It's like Aragorn and Arwen getting married, and they're the royal guard almost. Yep. So he charges me, and obviously I've got my greater numbers. Managed to take away the infantry relatively quickly because I got the fight 6 spear supports for the pikemen. The banner helped out massively there as well. And then against Aragorn, I was able to put the pike supports in to force him to be the heroic strike.
Yep.
Which then means if he doesn't roll a 6, he's got to use his regular might to increase the dice rolls.
Yep.
And Legolas spent the game pretty much just one-shotting Aragorn, boosting it with might, then getting him back from Alfred. Managed to kill Aragorn and take everything else off the table, bar Arwen.
That's interesting.
She was the last thing alive. It's because I didn't go after her. After she'd Nature's Wrath, I just left her to be...
Fight 6 is handy, but defense 3, and she's soft. And
interestingly, I used Alfred on Baragond and got him up to 4 might. And Arwen cast with her last point of will, Nature's Wrath, on a 6. So, well, I'll save Legolas's will for the worst case scenarios that I break and need for courage. Baragond will resist with his 4 might. I rolled a 2 against a 6. I was like, 4 might, that'll do. Never had it in the first place, so nothing gained, nothing lost.
Yeah, it's a good plan. It's a good plan. So a victory for you.
Victory for me, 10-0.
10-0, so the
Broken,
maximum...
general and banner got maximum possible.
Maximum possible that you can get. And interestingly, I was playing against Kieran's brother.
Yeah,
Stephen. I was playing against Stephen. And Stephen's a young lad. He's not, he doesn't really play loads. I think Kieran's trying to sort of see whether this is the hobby that he wants to get into. And it was nice to meet him. I was on the bottom table, which I was a little bit confused about, and it was a theme throughout, which I think both of us will kind of agree with, is where people were playing and who they were playing didn't seem to actually correlate towards what the VPs were. So for example, I was on the bottom table, but I'd lost 8-0, but I know that there were some more people who'd lost 11-0 that would really be on the bottom table. Also on the table next to me, there was the guy who was the club chairman.
Yeah.
Now, he was playing against, I think it's Liam F, the guy who bought the Gondor.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
a first day subscriber. Good guy, really nice bloke. He was playing against him. Now, he actually won a prize at the end, which we'll talk about, where he got maximum VPs for to the death.
Yeah.
Which means that he beat the club chairman guy.
Yeah.
But the club chairman guy was in the second to bottom table after the second game, and yet in the tournament had got 4 victories and was mistakenly sort of placed third over Joe Horsford. But
Yes, yeah.
So I don't understand why he was on the second to bottom table. I might be wrong.
Okay, yeah.
I might be wrong, but there were just a few occasions where I was like, well, why am I playing this
Why
person?
people here? Yeah.
You know, why am I playing? Would you agree?
I think there is some. Yeah, that I was a little bit unsure of. I just assumed Chris and Damien might have rejigged it for whatever reasons, but yeah.
Yeah, it was something I just noticed throughout. There's a few occasions I was thinking, why is he playing him and why is he playing him? Why am I playing this person?
Yeah.
Why am I down here or why am I up there?
Yeah.
Just a few occasions like that I did notice throughout the tournament.
Yeah.
So I played Stephen, and he had a little Isengard force that had been put together.
Yep.
We were playing on this board that had this massive, like, kind of.
Amon Sul, isn't it? They call it.
They called it Amon Finchley,
Yeah.
which is quite cool. They called it Amon Finchley. Now Stephen is a new player and he's a young lad and he's definitely clearly playing the game in a way to try and see, try and see the fun stuff. And it doesn't mean that he's always doing things sort of in a tactically amazing way, which you wouldn't expect because he's, you know, just a young lad. You know, and he is doing a lot of things like completely mismeasuring and you know, jumping things to where they shouldn't be. And to a degree, on a lot of things, I just kind of, you know, let him go with it because he's there to enjoy himself and I want him to have a good game. And I had a banner and kind of thought, well, you know, if this is a game against against an opponent who's been playing for a while, of course it can force them to come to you if they've not got one.
Yeah.
And that wasn't really happening with him. His goal really was to try and get everything on top, because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Get his crossbows and everything on top of this big fortification.
Yeah.
And then I think Kieran came around a couple of times and was, you know, my horses can't go climb up the
Post.
Ooh, anything interesting? Hope so. My horses can't go up the side of that mountain. They might be able to go up the stairs, I think, but it doesn't make any
Tactical
sense to. And even though you're sort of playing a fun game against somebody who's just learning the game, you're not necessarily going to do that. So in the last couple of terms, Kieran came over and he said, you know, you need to kind of go down towards him and give it a go. And of course, at that moment, that meant that I broke him. I'd already killed most of his stuff. And
through shooting.
Just shot him to bits and killed his leader when his leader came forward at the bottom of the stairs. So I also got maximum VPs to the death.
On the bottom table?
On the bottom table. Got maximum VPs. Yeah. So both of us got the 10 points for maximum VPs from to the death.
Yeah. Now, the reason we mention this is that there was a prize at the end, and we just sort of want some sort of clarification on how the prize was given out. But it was to people who earned the most VPs in certain scenarios.
Nice surprise prizes.
Yeah, they weren't mentioned. They were the barrels out of Bond Dwarves, and you got to come up and choose one, and it was really cool. We should steal it for our tournament.
What's that?
We should steal it for our tournament.
We're already giving away too many prizes.
Far too much. But whether it's names out of a hat or something, I don't know. But someone won the to the death most VP scenario. Went up and got their dwarf.
It was that. I think it's Liam.
Is it Liam? Yeah.
I think it was Liam who had beaten the club chairman.
Yeah.
Next to me.
Okay.
10 VPs to nothing.
So, you know, in my head, I didn't know this at the time, to be honest, I just found out now, but I thought it must have been the person on the lowest table who scored it the highest.
That's a good point.
But then, obviously, if you've just said then you're on the bottom table and you've scored 10, then it wasn't worked out that way. So, just some clarification of how that was worked out, because when they went, who scored the highest VP into the death, I was like, yeah, getting ready to walk up.
Banner, leader, breaking. I was the same.
Yeah, but
then, I didn't think I was going to get called out because I thought there'd be others. But so there it is. It wasn't me. It was Liam. So well done to Liam. But yes, and lovely to meet you as well. Really nice guy.
But just wanted to know how that was picked, really.
Yeah. Disappointed.
Didn't win anything this tournament.
But we'll come to that. Okay, so we moved on to. Did we go to lunch then, or did we do Spider first?
Lunch, I believe. Yeah.
Then we had lunch, didn't we? Yeah.
Went to KFC.
I went Subway. Couldn't be bothered waiting. I got such looks in the Subway.
You would.
Thank you. Like what I was telling you. Just treat everybody like they fancy you, and you're on to a winner with life. No, I went in there and I got myself, you know, like this whole grain bump, and I was like, yeah, I'll have some chicken breast and I'll have some lettuce. And they were like, you don't want any cheese on it, toasted? I was like, no, really? Like, no, just have it chicken. And they were like, you not want any sauce? So I was like, no, I'm alright for sauce. And I was getting some really crazy looks. They were like, what a weirdo.
That's
you know, I was pretending to myself that the Subway was healthy.
Yeah, that's what you got to do, isn't it?
That's what you got to do.
It's healthy, it's a sandwich, it's
bread. To be fair, we ate horrendous.
We ate awfully. I'm still sort of feeling it.
I am, and I'm going to start taking... I'm not really setting a great example for a fitness person coming to these Wargaming tournaments. So I need to start coming down with my little Tupperware boxes of like tuna salad. Yeah. Which I'm going to start to do.
Yeah, so I think over that weekend we went to a McDonald's breakfast, had KFC whilst we were there, got Domino's, you had a Subway, and then we got a Burger King on the way back.
And also loads of popcorn,
loads of just junk food in the car whilst driving. I still feel pretty sluggish after it.
I do.
I was feeling quite perky going into the tournament. Now afterwards, I'm like, oh.
I was holding on to a bit of water, and I was looking down, and I was like, where the app's gone? That's coming away slowly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went after lunch. We went into the third game.
Yes. Third game was the spider scenario, wasn't it?
Yep.
The
hold ground.
Yep.
But instead of having to hold an objective in the middle, you've got a monster in the middle that gets moved by the player who has priority.
Yes.
You can't charge it when you have priority because it's effectively one of your own models, but you can shoot it and cast on it. And it gives you 3 VPs, 1 for each wound, and 3 if you manage to kill it, as well as normal lead and breaking.
Yeah.
So who did you play on the spider scenario?
I played the man I feared most at this tournament, Mikolaj, or Mikolai, however you say it.
Does he say Mikolaj or Mikolaj? Does he just say Mick?
He just says Mick.
He's a nice dude.
Mick's really nice. This is the guy who sort of had the sort of get up and go to actually start the league and start recording it all. So thank you very much for doing that, Mick.
He's a really good guy.
Yeah,
I like him.
He is cool. He used to live in Manchester.
What, Mick? Get yourself back up. Do you not realise how much we could film together? What could be achieved with you on a team?
And he brought the force I called him out on. Oh, stomach, calm down.
Something to eat?
No, I'm fine. We'll get something from the shop. He brought Durbers, 14 goblins with stuff, 5 Wob Marauders, and a Mori Goblin Shaman.
Exactly what you called.
Exactly what I said. I was like, it makes sense that if you've got that many, you want to do it. Because 5 Marauders is a lot to deal with. His
models are wonderfully modelled.
Yeah.
And painted.
He's got really unique style of modelling stuff. Like all the Wob Marauders are conversions because, 5 Wob Marauders in Finecast is like 150 quid or something. Ridiculous.
Boring as well. Looks
all exactly the same in that one pose.
Nah, I loved it.
Have you ever seen his Corsairs?
No, I've not.
He's got a blog, Vini Vidi Vici.
I might have seen it actually.
It's Vini Vidi rolled a double 1. I came, I saw, and rolled a double 1.
Clever boy, Mick. He's a smart dude.
Yeah. His Corsairs and Corsair Reavers have an amazing pirate theme to them, and they've got all piratey stuff on the models. But besides that, he absolutely smashed me because we rolled for priority. I won priority.
Which you don't want.
And at that point, I was pretty much just like ready to go. Yeah, Mick, good game, you win, because I can presume what's going to happen in the game. So I rolled for my warbands. Alfred didn't turn up, which I was quite thankful for actually.
Yeah. You don't want any of your things to turn up.
If you've got priority, yeah. I was thinking. I've actually thought in the past maybe I should have burnt all of Legolas. I'll talk about that in a sec. Baragon came on sort of one of the longboard edges. In one of the corners because I was like I need to camp basically. Legolas rolled and I got a 3 and I pushed it up to a 4 so I could bring it on the other corner, sort of next to Baragon so they could link up quickly.
What did Baragon roll?
He rolled a 4.
Right, okay.
Or 5, or one of the ones that puts him on that board edge. And
so he would have been there regardless.
He would have been there regardless, yeah. So I thought, well, point my from Legolas because I'll go back with Alfred when he turns up and put them together so that at least the forces sort of together. Then Mick rolled. He rolled for his shaman, got sort of like a 6, and came on. Legolas's warbands come on sort of in his little concave line here, and the goblins all came on there. It's like, oh, great.
What comes on here?
Well, what comes on sort of round this way is the Wob Marauders. Mick rolls, I think it's a 2. Or maybe even a 3, and burns the might from Durburs to bump it up to the 1 that brings it on the same board edge. And he just completely encircles Legolas's warband with Warg Marauders and Goblins. And against the Warg Marauders,
at that moment, didn't I?
First turn I said, Jimmy, how's it going? I was like, it's over. no dice have been rolled for these setup rolls, and I was like, he's won. Nothing I can do in this one. Mick measured to make sure that he would never be within 8 inches of the board edge, because the spider couldn't move past those 8 inches.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to contend with that either.
It's clever.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, Mick. And just over time, just got the kill. I think it was all over in 4 turns, to be honest.
So a real slaughter.
Destroyed, and there was nothing, like literally nothing I could do. The first turn, as most of my games seem to go up with Mick, I had these terrible set of courage rolls, like 3 elves to charge 3 Warg Marauders and just tie them up so I can gang up on other ones. 3 elves failed their courage test to charge in.
That's not good.
That's not good, and I was like, they're my front line guys, so now I've got to send in my spear bowmen to just tie up Warg, these Marauders. It wasn't a good game for me, to be honest. And in retrospect, dropping 2 might from Legolas to 1 and then have his Warg Marauders and stuff turn up and then just completely counter the other side of it would probably have been a better scenario.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be sacrificing Beragond, but
I'm happy.
You're happy because at least it's going to take him down a little bit. It's going to keep him tight. You would come
Might-
as
might-
far away from them as possible.
Might even kill some stuff.
Well, that's the thing. You would come. You'd go as far away from Beragond as you possibly could. Try and get the spider kill for the 3, and hope that Beragond and his gang does enough damage that when he comes over,
At least then, maybe some wounds have been done on things. And,
and you can just shoot them as they come.
Or just go hell for metal, try and get Durburs.
Well, that's a good thing about these games. We're always learning, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's one way
But I still think, for the general tactics, that's what I should have done. Is set up everything together so I know it's all together. But didn't turn out that way.
So a loss and a thumping loss as well.
Yeah.
6-0.
No, he broke me general, got the spider.
Oh, he got spider as well.
Yeah. 9-0.
9-0. Ouch.
Painful loss for the tournament standings.
Well, in my game, I was lucky enough to play the mighty Southern Dunedain. The Southern Dunedain, that is Sam Page.
Yeah.
What a lovely guy. I've been chatting to him for ages, and you know, on the forum and everything. Yeah, on One Ring. And obviously met him at quite a few tournaments. He ran Best Event Ever with Joe, and they did a great job there.
Very good tournament.
He's a really nice guy as well. I do like him a lot, got a lot of time for him. And it was the first time that we got to play, which we've been looking forward to. And I kind of felt sorry for him.
Because you avoided him.
It made sense.
Yeah.
So he had a similar problem to you in that he got priority, so he came on first.
Yeah.
And his Hunter Orcs and Fimbul, can't imagine that this is the table. Okay, we had like this river that ran through the middle, and then it forked there, and the forked bit has got like stone bridge, and the river here has got wooden bridge. I think that's right. And Fimbul comes on up here. Okay, and then I get to choose where the shade comes on. So his force was Hunter Orcs with Fimbul, all on foot.
Orc spears.
Yep, shade with Orc spears. So I got them to come on as far away from them as possible.
Obviously, yeah, that's what you do.
And got them to come on here. And obviously the shade hasn't got any might, so it can't.
It just has to live with its role.
So maybe he should have done his shade first.
Shade first, and Fimbul comes on with the shade. Uses his might to do it,
Yeah, because obviously the shade can't affect it. So I thought, right, well, I want to come on, you know, here near the shade and the Orcs, but rivers away from the Hunter Orcs, because they've got 2 attacks. They're going to be the most likely to...
Yeah, strength 4, then could go through the armour.
Exactly. They're going to be more of a problem than the rest. So he gets priority. He had priority. And he moved the spider off of the bridge in the centre, and he moved it into the water to drown it. That's not a bad idea.
No, take it out of the game.
Take it out of the game because then...
Because he's less likely to kill it than you are.
Exactly. He's less likely to kill it with me with the bows and, you know, to fight the
lances.
Lances, yeah. So he did that, but the spider survived, luckily for me. And then it was just sort of him moving up the board, and I just shot the spider to death straight. It was 1 round of shooting, and that spider died.
Yeah.
So the strength 3 bows needed 6s.
That's still cheesy rolling, 1 turn of shooting.
Really?
Yeah. 8 hit out of 12, needing 3 6s, and 8 dice.
Got might from the captain as well.
Still,
did I use might from me? I don't think I did, no.
Probably didn't. Probably just 3 guys.
Unless it was 2 turns. I can't remember, but
2 turns is a bit more realistic.
I killed it in no time at all. So, as Jamie and I have been discussing when we've been theorising, because we had a game before the tournament where we did this scenario, and both of us had strength 3 bows. It was about who killed it first, and then Jamie said, "Don't feel like you've got to come after me now."
Yeah, it's like you've got the spider. The game, the ball's in your court. It's up to me to go chase you, and get the leader kill or break you. Ooh, got a visitor. Yeah, break you or get the general to. See. Hello.
How's it going? Steve's here.
Steve's joined us.
Sit down, man. I won't give her in a minute. Good to see you. We missed you. Oh, it's got something that way. Sorry, we're carrying on with tournament review. So yeah, basically don't chase the game. I think that's what we're up to. So then he had to come to me. Now I do think he made I was really worried because I was kind of hemmed in on these 2 stone bridges, and I thought, he's going to wait for his hunter orcs to be over. Then he's going to move his shade up, and I'm not going to be able to manoeuvre to get charges and things. That's what I was worried about, and I thought I might have to make a break for it over this bridge, and that means I'm only getting 2 cavalry models into contact with effectively, because you go out the Orth way, into
potentially 6 or something, 6 or
8. Yeah, so basically he would get 8 dice because I can only attack 2, and he's got spear support. 8 dice against my 4, and he's got the shade there. With 4 dice, he's probably going to get a 6. It's going to be really hard for me to escape that. Yeah. Now, he talked to me afterwards. He said the reason he came off of that bridge before his hunter orc, because he wanted to sort of set up a battle line for a similar kind of reason. But I was less worried about that. Yeah. Because I could charge in on that, get loads of combats, which I was probably going to win, probably kill him. Did a heroic combat with the knight captain to get up into the shade. It did use all of my might. Alfred had got him up to 5, and I had to use all of it to make sure this worked out the way I wanted it to work. Yeah. But it got rid of the shade in the turn after, and meant that I could then escape from the hunter orcs before they came over and just shoot at them. Because I didn't realise that the shade was his general. Yeah. I thought Thimble was his general, and I thought, well, even though I've killed the orcs and the shade, even if I break him by shooting the he can draw. If he kills my
general and breaks you,
and breaks me, and it's not going to be too hard to break me because I've only got 12 models. 12 models, yeah. And he's got strength 4. So I was being really, really careful. It was only when he told me, you do realise that you've killed my general already. Yeah, I think he was like, why are you running away? I was like, well, I've got 3 VPs to protect it. You can still get 6. And he was like, no, you've already killed my leader. But I still didn't want to risk it. And he's a cool player. He plays in the right. He was like, well, I'm going to deny you from running away and shooting, and just went up to the top of the bridge, started jumping them into the river to try and kill them. They didn't die. They were too hard for that. But a really sort of fun game with a really nice guy and good player. Yeah. And I really enjoyed playing against him. I'm sorry that I didn't engage. I hope you understand why. Yeah. So at that point, both of us had 2 victories.
2 victories and a loss.
2 victories and a loss.
Yeah.
And we went into game number 4.
Domination.
Domination. So domination is the one where you've got the 5 points, you've got 1 in the centre, and you get to place. Yeah. And you usually try and, depending on what kind of force you are, either get them close together or far apart. So cavalry army far apart.
Yeah. So I got drawn against Mr. Godolphin, and he had Tom Bombadil, Treebird, in 350 points, and it was a horrible force to play against. Reason being is I'm probably not going to kill Treebird. I managed to get a wound on him, which is 1 VP, and I can't break the force because Tom Bombadil can't die. So
when he, hang on a minute, you only got 1 wound on Treebird.
Yeah, I got more than 1 wound. He let the wound through. Yeah. Through fate, and then recovered it with Tom Bombadil. But you still caused the wound on the general. Yeah. So you still count as getting a VP for that.
Oh, so you don't. It's not like Lords of Battle where if it's recuperated and you wound him again, you get 2.
Oh yeah, no.
So you don't get multiple VPs for wounding.
No. You get 1.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Definitely.
Right, cool. Just checking.
No, you don't.
Because then you might have got more VPs.
Yeah, it's like, let's say someone's wounded aiming at the Pelennor twice, they don't get 2 VPs for that.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I thought it was like per wound. No. That's Lords of Battle.
So I couldn't do anything to this force, so I had to either A, play for time, and just
except for Bruce,
get the objectives. I don't drink hot drinks, sorry.
Hope yourself teasing the little thing that says tea next to the next to the kettle.
Is the biscuits in the biscuits or there?
Yeah.
I've eaten all the biscuits.
Biscuits in this house. So yeah, I've got these five objectives, and I thought, well, I can either run away and play for time and just hide, and get something secure these objectives. And Treebeard was heroic marching every turn, getting it back around 2+ to the next, and he was catching my guys, and I was like, right, I need to really just run away the entire game and not engage Treebeard. I think we had like 2, maybe 3 combats the entire game. The rest of it was either him throwing a stone at someone or me shooting him. My shooting did nothing against him. I was just hoping to get that first wound, and maybe put so many wounds on him or lose fate that he spends a turn or 2 recovering it with Tom. By the end of the game, I was under 25%, which is scary. Legolas was safe as houses. He was actually inside a house in his elven cloak, so the Treebeard couldn't get in.
Right, okay.
And couldn't throw a stone at him because he couldn't get close enough to see him. Beregond had died. Alfred was alive, just skulking on one objective, and I had 2 elves on 2 more. An elf on 2, an elf on each one, and Tom Bombadil ran onto one of them, so it was just contested and didn't count as anything for either of us. And I think Treebeard claimed the centre objective. So all in all, Godolphin broke me and got 1 objective, so that's 3, 6. And I got 2 objectives, which is 6, but got that leader wound, which is 7, 6. And Godolphin was more than chuffed to have managed to do that with a 2-model force.
Yeah, he's a nice guy as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He had a very cool sort of scenic base.
Hector did really well, his son.
Yeah, he did. They were good set of players.
Yeah. With Rohan.
Yeah.
Mounted Rohan he brought.
And no Sons of Ale.
No Sons of Ale, no.
He's a real Rohan player.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Did he place better than you?
No.
Not at the end. He didn't use Rohan.
No, he did place better than me in this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not better than I have done with Rohan.
So that was my game. Managed to win 7-6.
Fantastic, close one.
Scarily close.
So I had my domination game next, and I was playing on the Moria board. You know, the Dwarven Halls board.
Oh, that board. I'm not a huge fan of that, but looks very
cool, but just not nice to play on. And
all the pillars move and can wiggle around a little bit, and it's quite a bland board in terms of scenery because there's nothing stand out about it besides hiding behind these pillars.
Yeah, and it makes it more of a board game because it's symmetrical, and the pillars are where they are, and it's not all over the place. It means that it is about kind of moving behind these pillars for covers and cover and stuff.
This is the game that I played my first tournament game against Damien O'Byrne on.
Right,
we had a cracking game on it because of the scenario, but I think your one was a little bit.
Yeah, I had domination. I was playing against Chris Young. Now I played Chris and his Wood Elf and Dwarf army at East Grinstead and had a great time. Really, really good battle and a nice drink as well. I was looking forward to it. In fact, we were going to meet for a drink the night before if I wasn't staying with Damien, because I had to find somewhere to stay, but then Damien offered, which was good. And I had obviously my Rivendell army, and with it being domination and the type of board it was clear that it was good.
And the type of forces you both had.
Yeah, we both got armies that can shoot and that can kill lots as well.
Yeah.
So it was all going to be about getting in position for the final turn. It really was. No point sort of going out in the open trying to hold an objective, especially the middle one. He had set up his sort of crossbow line,
looking right down
the centre of the channel. It doesn't make sense to sort of come out there. And a lot of the game at first was sort of being really fiddly with trying to position your models so that you couldn't be seen by the opponent, and it got a little bit silly to the point where, like for both of us, and I was like, well, I can still see him, but if you're intending and you can do it,
but you can do it if you twist it in a certain way.
Just let's just say that it's not, but that's got to count for kind of both.
Yeah.
And that sort of made the game better. And we both were talking during the game, and we knew that it would come down to that. A lot of turns were taking a long time because of that, but it was clear that it was all going to come down to right on that final turn, pouncing. I had 2 objectives. The middle objective isn't held. Both of us are kind of in distance to try and pounce. He's got another one, and both of us are kind of contesting either side of a pillar on the other one. Then I end up having a really new experience, which is getting wound up in a wargaming situation, which I've never ever had before. And
I used to do it quite a bit when I very first started playing.
Or get wound up about
things, yeah.
Yeah. I've never been in this situation before. I try and always have a fun game, even if it's getting somewhat competitive. You play me a million times.
Yeah.
We have fun, don't we?
We do.
We do have fun. You know, the least fun was when me and Steve ganged up on you in.
Yeah.
And I can't. You still won.
Yeah.
And you still won. Of course. This is Mr. Goblin. And I got wound up. And the reason I got wound up was because it was clear that we were playing for this final turn. And even though I was in the lead, sort of I had 2, and nothing was on the middle, he had 1, and we were both sort of contesting that one, although he'd kind of moved up a few more there. It was all going to be about, right, okay, who wins those combats, and who's got the most models on those 2 objectives. The one that's being contested and the one that no one is at the moment.
Yeah.
And I finished moving at like 25 past. I know that Chris will disagree with this, so you know, let's just say that it's his word against mine, which is fine. I'm not saying that mine is fact or anything, but... And then it took like 20, 25 minutes for him to move sort of 3 models, which I was obviously getting very frustrated about. I was pacing up and down, I was looking at other people going, you alright? And I was like, you know, look at the time. And I said,
it's the first time I've ever seen you get sort of antsy in a game.
Yeah, well, I was getting frustrated because I've not been in that situation before. Like,
but it's very easy to wind yourself up where you start, well, for you especially, where you start getting frustrated at yourself for being frustrated.
Yeah, I was more annoyed at myself for getting annoyed.
It starts to build up inside you.
Yeah, because I was like, hang on a minute, I'm getting really annoyed about a game.
Yeah.
You know, and I was saying to him, you know, we're going to get this last turn in, aren't we? Cheers, man. Steve is a legend, and he makes a cracking brew.
No sugar, right?
Yeah, no sugar. Cheers, man. Whoa, bit shallow there, isn't it? So good job. It's a big mug.
I didn't realise it was healthy milk. That's why.
So I found myself getting really wound up, and I said a few times, like, we're going to get this next turn in, and he was like, oh, well, I've not finished moving my models yet, and that was getting me more wound up. And you know, time was called, and it was like, right, that's it, yeah. And I was like, surely we're going to get this next turn in. The whole game we've been waiting for this. You know, it didn't matter that I was winning. I just spent 25 minutes of my life for a game that I paid to come to, not doing anything and getting wound up. So I was wound up myself and getting wound up as well. And you know, of course, then he contested that. We got Damien over, and Damien was like, well, it's got to end. The time's been called. And I said, that's not the point. The point is that I've just spent the last 20-25 minutes, you know, waiting for this turn. It just, you know, doesn't seem fair, really. You know, and then he called me out of order, which is when I got angry, because I was like, well, you know, don't tell me that I'm out of order. You know, I've just been stood here at your tournament, waiting around for 25 minutes for you to move 3 models. But then we both did the right thing. You know, Damien took him away, which is good, which allowed us both to sort of cool down. I went over literally about 5 minutes later and just said, listen, I'm really, really sorry, which I am, for getting wound up, and we'll probably deal with that differently in the future. Yeah. You know, which we should do, because it's a game. It's
a game of toy soldiers.
It's a game of toy soldiers. And he also apologised, and, you know, his point was really that, you know, it was more because his head was in thinking about the tournament and running the tournament, which is, you know, fair enough. And they made an interesting point, which was, you know, with them both running the tournament, maybe they shouldn't have been at that point so high up in the tables. Yeah. You know, with there being a game to go. Yeah. Is it really good for them to be at a competitive place?
It's just like at Charles's tournament. Like
of course, the same problem.
Tournament organisers shouldn't be that close to winning their own event. Yeah. Which is why we're letting you play in our tournament.
Because I've got no chance, and I'm also going to be in fun stuff. I mean, like Eagles and that kind of stuff for fun. So yeah, so we made up, and you know, I was still frustrated at myself for getting angry, and you know, we saw each other in the pub afterwards, and he since sent me a message again apologising, which is great, you know, which is what it should all be about. So yeah, not a great experience. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. I really didn't. But I won. It was 6-4. Yeah. Got 6-4, which is good.
So both on 3 wins and a loss going into the final game, and I look on the draw board and look who I'm drawn against.
Somehow. Again, it was one of those.
I was like, I thought I'd have more victory points than you. Well, let's work it out. In the first game,
going into the last game,
I scored 9 in the first game. How many did you score in the first game?
0.
0. Come on, pen, don't fail me now. To the death, I scored 10. You scored 10. Spider 1, I scored 0. You scored
9.
9. Oh.
Sequel at the moment.
Domination.
6-4. Well, it was close.
6 to you, and I scored 7. So yeah, actually we were only one
we
BP
were
away.
really close.
Yeah, well that was correct then probably.
Yeah, we were pretty close. So we ended up playing against each other. Now this was the Lords of Battle
With Wizard.
with the Wizard, which is the key part.
Yeah.
It's a very key part.
Yeah. So both of us taking Gandalf. I'm reasonably well versed in using wizards, and it was your first time using a wizard.
It's my first time using a Wizard.
Yeah.
So Jamie's confident.
So I felt quietly confident because I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm meant to be doing against this force. So first thing I do, rough priority, okay, no Alfred in. I'd like to call a heroic channel. Your response is, I'd like to call a heroic channel too.
Just copying.
He's like, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I'll tell you with my moving face. He's like, cast Blinding Light on 1 dice. And you cast it, which is the right thing to do.
Yes! Got it right.
And then I cast it on 2 dice and also cast it successfully. I was hoping that James would roll a 1 and have to burn another point of might with Gandalf, which is why I used
Moral
2
victory
dice.
for me there. Rolling the 2.
Yeah. And then in the game, we start. We hit.
It's an interesting decision to use 2 at that point, I have to say, because we're so far away, you've got another chance to cast it. Do you not think? That's what I was thinking.
But then I've got
2 plus.
You've spent the might to make it channeled.
Oh right, yeah.
So you might as well then, if you roll a 1,
Yeah,
spend the
good
might to secure that might that you've spent.
Yeah, you're not having to use 2 might to.
Because say
try
next
and
turn
do it again.
you roll another 1. You spent 3 might on trying to do this 1 spell.
Yeah, true. Good to know, because this is learning for me. It was.
We had this board with quite a lot of woodland terrain, so it didn't make too much of a difference to either of us.
No,
But it was just lots of
2
in the way tests.
Yeah, there's 2 big buildings as
Yeah,
well.
there were,
like ruins.
So we got into this bit of a shooting war, which I was confident of because I've got Legolas who just auto hit that guy, randomise what do I hit the guy, 5+ dice.
Which really was sort of the key thing, and very suddenly realised I was going to lose the shooting war.
Yeah.
However, I was also going to lose
The wizard duel.
the wizard duel. Because Jamie knows what he's doing with that wizard. I was trying to copy you, and I think I got 1 success.
You got 1 big blast off.
1 big blast off.
Yeah. That killed, I think, 2/3 of the models that you killed that game.
Yeah, I only think I killed 3 or 4.
I think it might have been 4 actually.
I think it might have been 4.
I killed half the models. Like. So what is the shooting war? We're just edging closer and closer, and I was edging closer because I wanted to get to a point where I could start running Gandalf out 3, blast and run back 3, and then cover him up with more troops.
Which you would do.
Which I was doing, yeah. Obviously, me blasting James makes a big difference because suddenly his defense 6 is getting killed on 5s, and his defense 5 on 3s, and they're all being knocked off their horses as well. And in retrospect, I probably broke you a bit too quick, and the game ended soon. And
he absolutely trounced me.
It
trounced me. It was great though. Like we were having a
Yeah.
good time. We're laughing. We're learning.
Yeah. I was cursing.
We do like each other.
Not being able to play the Goblin Town army on the board below. I was like, if I played that game, I'd get so many victory points.
Yeah, and massive difference in outcome.
Yeah.
It's a shame for you really. I wouldn't mind playing that either.
Yeah.
Gorgeous army. Congratulations
Oh, yeah.
on that tower, James Baldwin, for doing that.
Won Best Painted, I think.
And rightly so. He's a really nice guy. I like James.
Yeah.
Really good.
But yeah.
So I got scored with this wizard, and it was the kind of game where you just put your hands up and you go, better luck next time.
Yeah.
I would do things completely differently,
Just
having
charge
experienced that. Yeah, I would have gone for it.
Yeah. I think you sort of have to, almost.
Yeah, when you realise that, especially with it being Lords of Battle as well, just in retrospect,
Just bleeding out a wound a turn, basically.
Yeah, it's worth just sort of getting into combat, trying to kill as much as possible, because it's likely I might actually kill.
Stop. Like, charge 2, might win the fight, kill them.
Yeah, that I might actually kill more than you and still win the Lords of Battle situation.
Yeah.
But it was tough learning experience. Congratulations to Jamie. He absolutely trounced me.
Yeah.
Like a true trouncing. And with that,
The tournament was over.
the tournament was over. And we've been looking around a lot of the time. Who was playing on the top table?
It was Ed and Damien.
Ed had not lost.
No.
And Damien hadn't lost.
No, so both on 4 wins.
Wow, which was really impressive considering the
We thought the winner would at least lose one.
Ed was close.
Yeah.
And Damien had actually smashed his good friend Thomas Harrison out of, a chance.
Out of the rankings,
Yeah, I mean, Tom had drawn into the death against Chris.
Yeah.
Similar kind of reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was him kind of out of it.
Yeah. But he could only come second. There was no way he was not finishing first or second in the league, but he was out of the tournament, essentially.
Out of the tournament. So we had Ed versus Damien on the final table.
Damien came over to me again before the game and said, what should I do? Should I try and shoot him? I was like, well, no, he's going to take Gandalf. He's not going to take Radagast, so your shooting's neutered. You might as well just run straight into his face and just
I needed you to come up to me before our game, if you hadn't have been me, to give me coaching.
And say, just go at him.
Just go at him. You're not going to win. You're not going to win against Legolas with his auto shot.
Yeah.
You don't know how to use a wizard as well as this guy.
Yeah.
So don't just try and do the whole popping out thing because you're on horses. It damages you more to get Sorceress blasted than him.
Yeah.
So why don't you just go for it? Maybe walk Gandalf out onto a flank and hopefully knock some stuff down after you've charged.
Start transfixing Gandalf to stop him blasting.
Yeah.
As well that way.
Yeah.
That's what my suggestion would be.
Yeah. So for next time I know this, but I didn't have Jamie coaching me for this one, unlike some of the others.
Sat stone faced across the table.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. What an idiot.
So Damien actually managed to pummel Ed.
And a massive congratulations to Damien for doing so. Really well deserved. And but with that,
he won the tournament.
He won the tournament.
And with me scoring such a low amount of VPs across the entire weekend, well, entire day, I was the lowest of the 4 wins, which put me 4 places apart from Damien, which meant that was the ideal number for him to finish 3rd in the league and push me out of the top 3.
So you didn't get a lovely
bronze trophy.
And congratulations, Dave. Good weekend all round for him because he won the Alfred guessing competition.
Yep.
So he got 25 quid.
All a pint with it.
Rightly so. That's the rule. And with this being London, that probably worked out about right.
Yeah.
He also got 3rd place in 2013.
Yeah.
And then he also won the tournament and got some nice prizes. Now there were some great prizes at this tournament.
Yeah.
Really good prizes. So like we talked about, there was some surprise prizes. Yeah. So there's a prize for who made the best necromancer. Only one person attempted this.
Yep.
This was Graham Sargent. Really nice guy. And it was good. He had like a little flashing LED thing.
Oh really?
Inside some black wire wall.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good bit of fun. So he won that one. There was like best story with the magic rings. I believe Hector won that one.
Yes. He used strength and will on, I think it was Erkenbrand or someone, who was out of will at this point, to charge into a monster who was attacking Theoden, and even with his horn he rolled a double 1, which means he failed, but the strength and will gave him 1 will back, which he then spent to get into combat and managed to save Theoden.
And kill the monster.
Yeah. So
brilliant. So a good little story, so well done Hector. Hector's a nice little lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good player.
Good player.
Good player. He's
give him about 2 years.
Yeah, he will be very good. There was other spot prizes. Obviously, I think it was Liam who won the most for scoring highest into the death.
Yep, there's best highest scoring spider.
Yeah, and there was best high scoring spider. So again, I got 9 BPs for that. I got 9 out of 9 for that. So why didn't I win a prize? No, it'd be good to know though. Yeah. How was it decided?
There was Joe, I think, won most in Lords of Battle. Most VP scored, I think.
Was it him or was it no?
Oh, no, it wasn't him.
Wasn't it the chairman dude?
Chairman who got 45. Just think if I'd got that 45, I'd be 2nd place.
2nd place, would you?
Second place in the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'd got that many.
Yep, you would have been. So he got that, and 1st, 2nd and 3rd, we had 1st place was Damien. 2nd place was Callum Edens. What did he bring?
Callum Edens. He
beat Mick.
He brought Shelob, and Mordor just chaff.
Cracking brew this thing.
Yeah. I'd say for him. Yeah, it was good. It was tasty. He brought Moran and Orcs, which completely outstripped Mick's Goblins and Wild Marauders because they wounded him just as easy he wins them. And yeah, well done to Callum. I remember 1 year ago I played him. It was his first game back in the hobby after a long time, and I paralysed his Mordor troll with a Barrow White and sent him the Prowlers, who took it out in sort of like 2 turns worth of stuff.
Nasty. So well done, Callum. Big congratulations.
And also, he placed, I think it was 3rd maybe, in East Grinstead.
No, he didn't come 3rd. He didn't place that.
Maybe he came 4th.
Was it Keith?
Yeah, it was Keith Goodchild.
He did well, and I can remember him coming up to me on the tournament and said, "That's my job next, is to sort of, because I placed 2nd in that."
Yeah.
And do that. So he achieved his goal.
Yeah.
So well done, buddy. Really good effort. And 3rd was announced to be this chairman dude.
Yeah, but it was due to an incorrect reading of Joe's handwriting. They put in 14 rather than 19, so he gained 5 VPs, which pushed him above the chairman. So Joe came 3rd.
But Joe is a nice guy, and he actually said, "Well, I'm glad obviously that came 3rd. I want the VPs and stuff for that, but for the prizes, give it to that chairman dude." Yeah. Which is fair enough. Yeah. So that brought it to the end of the tournament, the end of the 2013 league. Mm-hmm. And what happened in terms of the league? So you had been bumped out for Damien, who'd overtaken you.
Ed Ball had won it.
Congratulations, Ed.
Well played. He didn't win a single solo tournament though. Just
doubles with Sam Jeffrey.
Doubles. Sam Jeffrey carried him to victory in that one. 2nd place was...
I wonder if Ed is capable of winning a tournament.
I don't think he is. No. He's not won one this year. I just don't think he's got the legs to do it. Mm-hmm. Just joking.
He says that he would do better with an all-mounted Rohan army than I would. Yeah. Let's see it happen, buddy. Let's see it happen.
Yeah, come 2nd in the tournament with one. 2nd place was obviously Thomas Harrison. Yeah, so well done, Tom. Mr. Damien O'Byrne came 3rd. He edged me out, so well done, Damien. And I came 4th. I don't know.
The rest of them. Well, more importantly, I came like 43rd or something.
Yeah, good job. With 1.5 tournaments.
Woo! More importantly, it's this year now.
Yeah, and I'm still 1st.
What would you say, in retrospect, would you have done anything differently over the tournament, or...?
Maybe play purely for time against Godolphin. Don't even let him get near me. Be that guy who just doesn't do anything, just runs away.
Yeah. And
get the 4 objectives, gets me 12. Against you, don't break you so soon.
Yeah, aim for the
heroes and drain the points off them. But yeah, that's it. Perhaps, as I said, it's completely retrospective, and Mick could have rolled anything differently, and it would have, scuppered my plans even more. But mighted down with Legolas rather than up.
Yeah. Would I do anything differently? Not get angry about a war game.
Yeah.
Definitely do that differently. Sort of learn to sort of say things a bit of a different way, or even just go to the other TO. I know that he was a TO. That was the thing, because he was a TO. I mean, go to the other TO and just go, "You couldn't just have a word, could you?" or something like that, just to diffuse, stop you from getting to that point. I would have failed my courage test in that first game for that famous victory. That would have been brilliant. Just that would be legendary.
Just like it could be you on 4 wins.
That would have been me on 4 wins. Yeah,
a different tournament entirely.
Would have been different, and different outcome in the league for Ed. No wonder he would have been sick.
Yeah,
threw that away. Didn't sleepwalked into a loss at the first game. And he would have had a completely different run. He could have won 4 games. And Andrew still would have played. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? So that was our experience of the tournament. Playing on the size board, that was interesting.
3 foot by 4 foot. Oh, it's hard.
Yeah, I'd rather play on 4 foot by 4 foot. 3 foot's... the boards were great. The terrain was fantastic, but the board size... You start a little bit too close, don't you? Yeah, the board size...
You don't get that manoeuvrability to run away.
No.
Domination becomes a very...
Good things about the tournament was it was a brilliant turnout. Lots of great people there. A really inventive rules pack that made it quite difficult to prepare for.
Very good rules pack.
Fabulous prizes for everyone. And obviously the Saturday night at Damien's.
Yeah.
So with that, I think you placed 4th, I placed like 13th or something, because I had the lowest VPs of the...
in the tournament I placed 6th.
You placed 6th?
Yeah.
What did you? Okay. Grim. So you had the lowest VPs of the people with 4 wins.
Yep.
And I had the lowest VPs of the people who had 3 wins. And there's no shame in losing to Jamie and Ed.
No.
And that's what I took away from
that.
Or
Michelage.
They're all very good players. So next up is our very own tournament,
which I can't compete in. Damn it.
I know there's going to be lots of VPs up for grab because there's loads of people there. We're hoping for over 50 now. We've got 48. Still some tickets available. It's going to be brilliant. Going to have great fun. Make sure if you've not bought a ticket already, get yourself involved.
Yep.
It's going to be brilliant. This has been GBHL James.
And GBHL Jamie.
With our tournament review of Shadow and Sorcery at Titans Wargaming in Finchley. Support your hobby, guys.
A happy strategy battle gaming.
Snap pictures. Hold the people when you shake their hand.
Yeah.
Hold them close.
Hug them. Well, are you filming this?
Yeah.
As we talk about hugging and hugging.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of hugging today. There has. There's been a lot of.
It's been a very huggy day. It's been a very emotional day.
Oh, look at that. Off camera, Damien Adams hugging Jamie G. Well, okay. First of all, obviously a big thank you to everyone. We can't do this without you, all of you here. So, thanks to all of you, first of all.
Thanks to you guys.
Alright, so we're going to start with the wooden spoon. Does this get a...
Yes, they get to choose.
They get to choose. Okay, so what we're doing today, when we go handing out the prizes, we're also giving away a few little special awards. Giving away a few little special awards, so quite a lot of you who are going to be getting prizes and certificates are going to be able to choose from one of the Barrel Out Bond dwarfs. It's a nice little perk. That's the word I was after. Thanks. So first we're going to start with a wooden spoon. Stephen Street.
Damien's got Bill.
Thorin, good choice.
Stephen, hold it up.
And now he's got a barrel.
Photo.
No, this one. Him. Nice, very nice.
Okay. Next up, for the most amazing necromancer conversion that's ever been seen anywhere, Graham. Bilbo's counted for already. Thanks very much. Well done. Have a photo.
Very nice.
Very nice. This is for the most heroic deed. Can you remember what the heroic deed for the ring was?
Yeah, it was quite special actually. It was Hector, do you want to come in?
Hector, student of Keller Brimborg.
So basically, Erkenbrand was surrounded by monsters, and and then he did fortify the one where you get more will, and he gave that to Fairden, who was courage 7 because of the special one, who then rolled a double 1 when trying to charge the special troll, which he then used that 1 will to make sure he could get in.
Wow, that's fantastic. Brilliant. Well done. Pick
up.
Okay, the next one was, which we agreed today at the beginning of the day. Anyone that managed to beat both Damien and I in a game would get this award. Failing that, anyone the person who won, who beat us with the most victories.
The person who shamed us the most.
And that person is Tom Harrison.
This is the biggest award of the day.
Yeah, don't forget Tom,
get a model.
What's it called?
The Bane of Titans. Blimey. Okay. So the next one.
It defaulted down to people that hadn't already.
Right, okay. So the next one we've got is for the most victory points in the final scenario. This is the Light of the Astoria Award. Ben Camp.
Hey.
Pose for a picture. Smile, camera. Good lad.
How many was it?
How many prizes?
It was
Hundreds.
yeah,
Thousands.
lost count.
Yeah. It was off the scale.
Couldn't fit it on the score sheet. There's so many.
Yeah.
He tabled his opponent.
Wait, is it all vowels on? Is it vowels?
Yeah.
That's Philly. Yeah.
That's Philly. Yep. He's now your
Well
Philly.
done. Congratulations. And did I do that one? Yeah, no, you did that one. Next up is Warden of the Westfold, which goes to the person who scored the most VPs in the domination scenario, which is Sam Page. That goes without saying, but
That's the world.
You hold on pieces of paper like this so we can see them.
oh,
Alright, so the next one is the Spider Foe, which is for the most victory points in the Spawn of Ungoliant scenario. Liam Friel. And choose a dwarf, mate. Does he get a spider?
he gets the spider.
He gets a spider as well.
One of the lovely spiders painted by Damien. Okay, next up is the Undying Award, which goes to the person with the most VPs in To the Death, which is Kieran Street. And pick a dwarf. There you go. That's for
When you Kieran, that's Camp
That's
Pose.
Reconnoiter. Okay. The next award is for the most victory points in Reconnoiter. Stephen Easier.
well done.
And he's a dwarf. There are slim pickings.
Left with Biffa.
Thanks.
Okay, then we come to Best Army, which was quite clear cut actually, so lots of votes, and that goes to James Baldwin.
Hold it, hold it. You didn't hold it. No one's holding it ever.
Oh no, hold it up.
Hold it, yeah.
There you go. Cheers.
Hold it up and hold the pose. It's a big double holding it thing.
Okay. Is there just a dwarf or is there?
Yeah, dwarf, yeah.
There's a dwarf. Brilliant.
Oh no, Best Army gets a coin as well.
That's
Sorry.
right, it's a coin.
Yeah.
Smile's treasure. There you go. Well played.
Good job. There you go.
Most honourable. Does anyone want to hazard a guess?
Harrison!
It is! It's not Harrison. It's another Tom. Tom Lee.
Choose dwarf and take a coin.
Take a coin as well.
Choose a dwarf to take a coin. Sounds like some prostitution.
That's pair coin and choose a dwarf.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we come to third place.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I'm not.
You are kidding me.
Not somehow.
I'm going to take a... I'm actually going to take some credit for that.
Does anyone...
I told him what I was take.
Fair enough. Okay. It's our very own chairman, David Simpson. That is Radagast the Brown, a coin and a dwarf.
Radagast the Brown, a coin, and a choice of Norrie or Biffa, or Bofa. It's written on. Okay, wicked.
There you go. Oh yeah. I'm afraid.
No. Your hands off. Hands off that three.
That's the league, the 2013 league is being decided today as well. Yeah. You have to play more hobby tournaments to win one of those.
He only joined the Facebook group yesterday. So.
Yes, we'll start hating him now. Okay, so second place, Callum Enans. Okay, and
Well
you
done.
get
Well played, mate.
a dwarf coin
Yes.
and a dwarf,
Yes.
Norrie, and Gandalf.
Yes.
Gandalf. Anyone?
You got a photo of him?
And of course, most importantly, First place, we all know who it is. Come on, Damien.
Hold it, hold it.
It's a bad one of you.
Is it?
Good.
My face hurts.
I got you.
Yeah. Awesome.
So you get
And
Bilbo. Does he get Bilbo? Is Bilbo?
yes, Bilbo
Yeah,
Bilbo.
Bilbo.
Yeah.
And
Bilbo and the key.
the key to the Merthyr jails. There you go. He does, yeah.
I was looking for you. I was like, where's Nikolai? Come on, Nikolai. Come on, come to the league. Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Well done. Good job. I'm going to leave you in the better hands of Nikolai now for the league results.
Wow. So, first of all this entire league wouldn't have happened without the support of all you guys. So I think you should just give yourself. Same goes for all the organizers, including Chris, Damien, Sam, and Jamie. There's Alison. There's
So many of us.
All the tournament organizers.
Exactly. Yeah. All the tournament invitates. So after 9 events, we had a draw at the top. so today was the tiebreaker, and I guess it's time to present top 3. In the third place. It's gonna be you. It's basically really close between Jamie Giblin and Damien O'Byrne.
Mr. O'Byrne. It's so bad.
In fact, it's only 2.6 points difference.
Ah, well done, well done.
Out of how many? Out of Damien has
That'll spoil it.
well, both have over 450. So in third place, it's Damien.
Yeah.
So sorry.
That's alright.
Second place, well, that was the tiebreaker. Basically, whoever of these two finished higher today was going to win it. So in second place, Tom Harrison. And finally, at the end of the first season of the Great British Humping League, the winner, Edward Ball.
Ed.
Thanks again, everyone.
All together.
It's been amazing.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Thanks so much.